Yo, what's going on YouTube? It is your boy Chris back again with another video for you guys today. In this market watch, I want to talk about potential players for today. It is Monday. It looks like, and from what the leaks have said, and we got it right yesterday, we said that yesterday was going to be Ferland Mendy and it was going to be Davinson Sanchez. It ended up being those two. Tomorrow, or today, whenever you're watching this video, apparently will be LOZANO and maybe potentially JOAO FELIX. Now, I want to talk about some market movements around that. I want to also talk about some market movements what we saw today and something to just learn from in terms of how much demand an SBC has. And I want to also talk about my club situation and stuff like that. First, I kind of want to go over the team, right? So that's the team that we're using at the moment. It's a combination of players I really want to use in this year's FIFA, like Wan-Bissaka, Juan Mata, Rashford, Havertz. And then you have your meta players like your Roberto Carlos from the FUT swap, Sergio Ramos, Lenglet, Ter Stegen, players like that. In terms of the players that I bought today, we did a little bit of trading. So this was picked up at 269. This was picked up at 310. This was picked up at 320. So I have 360 or 330. So I'm at 360 pretty much. 270. A dud, really. This was picked up at 364, so I'm at 289 or 389. These were picked up at 80. These were picked up at 195, and this one I think was a dud as well. This one was 230. This was 77. This was 77 as well. 103, and then we just kind of have a couple things here. Still have this Bale. Allen overnight did really well, 280 to 310. They picked up the Dele Alli at 160. He is now 175. And stuff like that is kind of what I've been trading with recently. I want to talk about just the index today, and a lot of stuff really moved today because of the SBCs. So Ferland Mendy was 3 SBCs. If I go and look right here, it's not a bad value because this guy is probably going to last you a couple months time. He is an 85 rated, and he has 285 squads and an 84 squad. And if you look at the card, I mean, he's 5-star, 4-star, 93 pace, 84 dribbling, 86 physical, 80 passing, 80 defending. I mean, what more could you want on a card like this? He's just really perfect for everyone's team because he's also French as well. Davinson Sanchez, again, really good value SBC. And we saw people actually penning selling icons because of these kind of cards today. So I want to talk about some of those cards and then also want to talk about the potential stuff for tomorrow. So let's talk about movements today. We saw a bunch of SBC fodders go up a ton today, so I'm going to show you guys on Futbin. Look at the 84 market at 6 p.m. UK. It went from 177 points all the way up to 213. That flew. If you go and look, I mean, look at some of these 84 prices, like 8.7k for Pepe, 6.7 for Canales, Lucas Leiva 6.7. I mean, these are as high as they really are going to go, unless there's an even better SBC, which I can't even imagine. 85, same thing. They all went up in price. They went from 124 points all the way to 179. And then I want to see if 86s went up as well. They went up a bit as well. So, basically when the higher rateds are going up is because they're making the SBC a little bit cheaper. They're using lower rateds. People want to use the higher rates to kind of bring the SBC cost down. In terms of left backs and center backs, they got pending so well. We're going to talk about Screamo Tamendi. We're going to talk about some other things, but this left back right here. This guy, he's 374 at the moment, but this was 390 yesterday, 385, and he went down all the way to 345k. He's back up a bit now. I don't know how much he's really going to recover, but he is 375 at the moment. Another guy I want to show you guys is Zambrotta, and this just shows you the amount of it'll show you the effect of the SBC on even the icon market. I mean, it's pretty crazy when you think about it. This guy was 485. So he's back up again. This was 450 at a point. You see this right here. He was as low as 440, 450 from 510. And then some center back icons Hierro. I was able to pick up a little bit cheaper. The baby, he was 410 yesterday. He's about 375 at the moment. And he hasn't really fully recovered because he was 410, 390, and then he went as low as about 360, 350. So that's the kind of market on those. I mean, Screamo Tamendi is another case. He was 270. went all the way down to 230. I think he's still at that price. He's about 240 right now because he's probably getting a little bit rare. If you look at the SBC before today, 270, 260, 250, goes all the way down to 230. And that's just the power of the SBCs. Now, I want to talk about what may happen today on the market. So, you're not going to see any crazy market movements with those kind of cards. You may see cards, still get panic sold, but you also may see link investments go up a bit. Now, the ones that were supposed to go up today didn't actually go up that much. And let me show you a guy that, he went up in the hype. So, he was like 157, 158 when I was looking at him last night. And I think he's now down at about like 170, like somewhere around there. This guy right here, by the way, all these like 160s, 170s, this is the same person right here. This is everyone. I think this guy's trying to price fix or whatever he's trying to do. So that didn't really rise too much. Cruz went down a little bit today, and now he's, I think, up at 250. So that's interesting as well. Yeah, he's about 251 on the market. Modric went up a bit today. I think he was around the low 80s or high 70s, and now he's about 90k. So he's up a bit. These are kind of like some link investments that, because people do need to link these cards up, and maybe Ferland didn't need a strong link to really link him because there were so many, links to him. You had Ramos, you had Varane, who both actually went down in price, but you also have a bunch of French players that you can link these cards with. So Sergio Ramos, yes. So he was sold off today. Maybe because of weekly sell-off, but also because of, I think, people a little bit over-invested in these SBC links. And that's why these cards are a bit lower than where they were yesterday. So it kind of shows you maybe sometimes selling in the hype is your best bet on a lot of this stuff. Because I saw before the SBC came out, Lloris was 175. He went all the way down to 162. So he went down a bit. And like I said, there wasn't much investment in these SBCs. But this guy was 160, 159. He's now down at 148. So some of this stuff is down in price. Which is surprising because, like, Lloris, you would think of, how are people going to do Davinson Sanchez? And I know people are going to do it because it's an 84 overall squad. And there's really only one or two strong links that you can really get. And that's like, Scream Dele Alli. You can do Aurier at the right back. And then you can go with Lloris and net. So I'm kind of surprised that that card did not move much today. If, in fact, it actually went down a little bit. So today, I mean, in terms of like link investments, I would pretty much sell into the hype because it shows that even if it's good value, sorry, I got something on my monitor there. Even if it's a good value SBC, cards are not guaranteed to rise, and maybe people are looking at the wrong spots, for link investments. So if it's gonna be LOZANO tomorrow, man, you're gonna see something like this probably go up in the hype. This is the easiest one to kind of link with. I'm gonna pick that up at 151. That's a good deal. And the reason you're gonna see that rise is because if you think of Napoli, they don't have anyone. If they do LOZANO as a right wing, you can't link him up with any right back because Malquit was a Futmas card. Maybe people did it, maybe people didn't. And I also, actually, coming back onto this point, Ferland Mendy's links may not have worked because people already had his gold and probably already had links for that card. I mean, that's one of the most used golds in the game this year. So I would not actually be surprised if, because the gold was used so much this year, that people are already using Varane, Ramos, Hazard, whatever you may use to link this guy up in your team. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, why those links actually went down instead of going up. Because you know what happens with people when they don't see the card rise, they just sell it off. Going back to the LOZANO and the Napoli, Mertens could definitely rise in the hype. It's around the same price range as well. He's gonna be probably 80 to 120k, probably around their price range. So Mertens would do well in that price range. Something that's a little bit more expensive, but also safe still because of the Conte. He is still down. Midfielders are still down in general. I think he's about 300 at the moment. So he's like 295, 300. This was like 280 today, 275. That was solid. That might go up a bit with the LOZANO. And other than that, you're not really going to find many links with LOZANO. If people want to do like a Mexican team, maybe they'll look at like the Road to the Final Jimenez, the striker card. They could do something like that. In terms of who is the other SBC we're going to go look at? Fuck, why can't I think of the other SBC? It's Joao Felix. So, like, Atletico Madrid, right? You don't have many links with Atletico Madrid either. You do have, like, the road to the final Thomas Partey. You do have the informed Saul. So, you do have a couple cards there. It depends on what position they're going to put Joao Felix in. Again, these are potential SBCs, so it's never a guarantee. But yesterday's leaks did work for us. So, we'll see if those work again today on the market. And, yeah, I mean, this is like 98 with a shadow. I might be able to pick this up right now. So look at like Saul, look at this Partey, stuff like that is something you can look at for maybe some link investments there. There's not many people that you can link up with. You may see some Portuguese players go up as well. Maybe like this Bruno Fernandes card, who is already up in price in general. I think he's about 30,000 coins, or he's close to it. A center attacking mid would actually probably go up a good amount because people would like to use this card, you know, with Joao Felix as like a soft link. So you might see that go up a bit. So those are some of the links that you can find with Joao Felix, with LOZANO. In terms of market movements, guys, you're going to probably see right wings in Serie A. Not like there really wasn't any to begin with, but you may see them get sold off a bit. I don't see as many. I don't see the demand in these SBCs like Sissoko, like Ferland Mendy, like Davinson being overwhelming. I think people will use Joao Felix and people will use LOZANO, but you're not going to see like icons get sold off because of it. You're not going to see any top tier cards being sold off because of it. I would not expect that. In terms of like the right wings in La Liga, I don't think there's that many. Yeah, I think it's just LOZANO in this league. So you have the right wing Nainggolan, but he's not really used at right wing. So people really wouldn't replace Nainggolan with the LOZANO. So I wouldn't expect much to drop there. And then in terms of like obviously center forwards or strikers in La Liga, yeah, you could see like Benzema dropping a bit. Maybe you look at pretty much any forward in, you know, any striker in La Liga could drop just a bit. You know, maybe like Scream Aspas, maybe Scream Gamero, stuff like that. Portuguese strikers, I don't know who's a Portuguese striker in this game. You would not see Ronaldo getting sold off any of that stuff, but you might see some of that kind of dropping a bit. I don't think there's any other Portuguese. You're not going to see Eusebio go down. You're not going to see any of that. Again, these two both have once to watch cards, so people are kind of skeptical of it because they're like, all right, they already have special cards. They've been kind of, you know, it's a weird one, man. So we'll see kind of what happens tomorrow. I don't expect much market movements with these two SBCs. You may see some things drop, but nothing crazy in my opinion. You may see some of those links go up. So in terms of like tomorrow, I think we're also going to get like a Jesus objective at some point tomorrow or Tuesday. So whenever that comes out, we'll see. I will have a video for you guys tomorrow when it comes to Tuesday's SBCs. And then we're going to have a Thursday flipping guide probably Tuesday night for you guys, because the market should do very well Wednesday and Thursday this weekend. I'm going to explain that in a future video. So I guys hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Drop a like, comment, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll talk to you guys in the video soon. Peace out.